Part 4. Deployment options for low and out of air emergencies.
All right, part 4. We're going to get into all the options for addressing a low or out of air emergency using the specific rescue air packs that we have, and again on Elmgrove and Wauwatosa, and the configuration setups that we have inside. So right now I got the bottle turned off, but so this is option 1. Remember, our primary goal is to find that down firefighter and give them a bump air, give them a hit as quick as possible, stabilize, and then decide on our methods of extraction. So we're going to say that we've arrived on location. However you decide to drag it, air nav firefighter, typically in our procedures, is going to pass this up to or move up to the rest of the team. The officer is going to start making radio transmissions, tying off the search rope. The pack completely, and remember, we always keep this cylinder valve closed until we're ready for deployment. So we're going to open it up, fully open it. Now, because this is a close proximity air transfill, we're right next to the down firefighter. All we need to do is pop and then disconnect. This is the line that we're going to use, the short line that's coming to the down firefighter.
The RIT has the option of leaving the 25-foot hose connected during an air transfill, even if the added length is not needed.
Now, I'm not going to actually open this up. We'll use this for another scenario. Remove the fitting. Bear in mind, since we're at this point, when you come to that universal air connection, also referred to as a universal RIT connection, okay, the URC or the UAC, again, basically all it is a quick fill transfill valve. You've got to be aware that if you pull these caps off, that pin, can you see it on the inside, Troy, in a close-up? That pin could remain in place here. You might not be able to see that in reduced visibility. This is what I'm talking about. Here's the cap, here's that pin. That pin may remain in place. You pop this cap off. When does this happen? If you do a lot of training, sometimes this area gets a little fatigued on the rubber and that pin stays in place. It's not going to allow you to do that connection. If you look at what Scott has, his fiskers in there, gets on there really nicely, you can easily pull it out of the way. You might be able to just grab it with your firefighting gloves on, but if you have really bulky gloves where the tips are falling over and you don't have a lot of dexterity, the fiskers works really good for that. So now I'm going to take this connection. Some firefighters actually like to go palm to palm, find that port so they can line it up. You want to connect up, make sure it hears that audible click, and then you should actually hear the air transfilling in and watching this gauge go up. Remember, on our setup, envision this bottle's at 1,000 psi and the RIT pack is buried. We always keep our rescue air pack buried at 4,500 psi. We never ever want to let our rescue air pack bottle go below 4,500 because we want to maximize the amount of air that's in this bottle. It's typically going to take, when this bottle is full, roughly about 15 seconds to transfill 1,000 psi to this down firefighter. So if we had other firefighters that were in staging and they were on vapor, they're just about out of air as well, they may not have that 15 seconds to wait. So we have to find a way to stabilize it. Just be aware of that. So if we have multiple firefighters waiting, we may just give this guy a hit of air, okay? Just give him a hit of air, just enough, and then move on to the other firefighters. But typically, if you're just transferring into one, 1,000 psi is going to take about 15 seconds. Once you reach that point, you'll disconnect. Now, because we took that pin off, we're not going to worry about reconnecting this up. So that's our first method. Now, if that firefighter wasn't in close proximity, again, here's our scenario. It could be a team that's trapped in a basement. We come to a hole in the floor. Maybe it's not a total burn through, but we can't get the RIT pack down to it. Another scenario might be a collapse. We've got a void space, and there's just small openings, and we don't want to try stuffing the whole pack through. Probably the most realistic situation is you got firefighters that pop up against the basement window. Conditions are deteriorating, not to the point of flash order, they have time, but they're running out of air. They're just about out of air. It's a IDLH environment, it's totally smoke filled up, they can't breathe. You got window security bars. You haven't had the opportunity to address those window security bars, mitigate them, get them out of the way. Your team's coming up to cut them, to breach them, but they're out of air right now. In that case, this is how it's going to go. So remember how we have this all set up. This connection's in place. The 25 is already connected up. We pop up at that basement window. There's a firefighter on the other side. But you want to go ahead on the other side? We can't get the pack through the window security bars. We're going to come here and we're going to pop. Right away, it's a good idea to turn the strobe on. We're going to come in and we're going to start feeding this line either through the void or down the window well, past, through the security bars, and we're going to start feeding line out. You can see how quickly it deploys. He takes whatever he needs, and then they go ahead and top themselves off.
To save air in this next clip, we did not have the receiving firefighter's SCBA open. That's why you won't hear air transfilling out of the RIT pack.
Partner one hooks into the first one, transfills air, okay? Again, about 15 seconds on a full bottle, transfill 1,000. He's done, he can disconnect. Now the easiest way is for his partner just to turn around and then top off the air of his buddy. Gives that second firefighter enough hit. If we got 3 or 4, we'll do the same thing. Now that air transfill card that's going to be in the bottom of the rescue air pack, that's going to be there to help you determine how much air you can transfill based on how many members you have lower out of air.
The following clips show 2 methods for giving yourself a hit or bump of air. Again, the receiving firefighter's SCBA were not open, so you will not hear any air being transfilled.
Alright, so if you happen to be a single firefighter, you have really 2 options for topping yourself off. If you have the flexibility and the dexterity and the familiarity with your SCBA, you can do it just like Wood's doing right now. He's going to find his RIT fitting connection, which is on his left side. He's going to bring the high pressure line around and try to line it up, make the connection, and again, double check it. You should be hearing that air transfill. Okay? We have the bottles off, but you're going to hear that air transfilling into the bottle. Give yourself that 10 to 15 second count. Go ahead, disconnect. All right, so option number 2, if you didn't have that ability, that dexterity, the flexibility to reach that quick fill transfill valve, again, the UAC, the URC, or sometimes that cap gets stuck and you can't actually release it. You can do a partial or full doff. So Scott's going to demonstrate a partial doff. On that, you're going to unfasten your chest strap. You're going to loosen up your shoulder strap, at least on your right side. We want to try to manage that left side where our MMR is coming off to our face piece. And then he's going to loosen up the waist strap. So we want to try to minimize the amount of straps we're taking off or loosening up. Just give yourself enough room so you can spin it around. Now he's got better access to that connection. You can see it easier, and it can help him facilitate the connection more smoothly. Again, because this bottle isn't open, that's what you're getting at. You're going to listen and wait for that air to transfill in. Make that 10 to 15 second count. Watch your gauge come up so it's out of that low air alarm. Gives you enough air to make your escape, and then you can disconnect.